Hello, hello, and welcome back to a special final bonus to this Let's Play of Revolutionary Girl Utena, Story of the Someday Revolution for the Sega Saturn. This is going to be a special ending, wrapped up our actual Let's Play, but we just wanted to show you all of the endings that we didn't get to in our playthroughs. So I've just, off recording, I played through all the endings, I captured them, I added them into a video. We're going to watch it together. And before we do that, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Audrey Zee Whitesides, one of your hosts, of course. But I'm not alone. Wait, listen. Can't you hear it? If your soul has not truly given up, you should be able to hear the sound of Christine Palin.
There we go. I wish I had the drum soundboard I had. Audrey and I recorded a podcast the other day for my first Danama, and I discovered I could do the ba-dum-ts.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have that here, but pretend we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm so excited. This is our last dive into the Chigusa
Yeah.
mines. When
Yeah.
we're free from the Chigusa mines forever, unless she haunts us in our sleep. So
Yeah, which
I'm
she
hoping
will.
this is. I'm sad it's ending, but I'm also hoping it's the end, so I don't have to confront that face again.
No, I'm sure she'll be there. I think she'll be there in our dreams and in our hearts. I've got she had the name tag with our dad's name on it, like with the red string tied around it in her locker. I've got one that's Chigusa's name.
Oh, good, good. Keep tabs on her.
So, if I die, I will come back because I have unfinished business with Chigusa. So yeah, this is our endings of the world special. This little Utena humor for you. uh, but yeah, we're just gonna show all the endings. So we saw, of course, the jury route ending, and the Black Rose arc ending. So if you just the SEO of YouTube took you here because it says like Utena Sega Saturn endings in the description or whatever, those two will not be there. You can go back and watch our previous Let's Play episodes. I think they're good and fun. And see those other endings. I may in the future just like edit together and release. I haven't checked if this is on YouTube. If it's not, then I will just edit those in and release a full no commentary all endings video, I think.
That'd be cool.
Just so that people can see that if they want to see all the
Yeah.
endings of this game. Maybe someone else has already done that. I honestly haven't checked.
I think I've
Um,
seen it in different parts, but
mm-hmm.
not like just one big,
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah. So I'll probably do that then. Um, up today we have, first of all, we're going to see the perfect ending. Um, then we're going to see the Utena ending, the Sionji ending, the Miki ending, the Toga ending. Um, those are all the character endings. Those are all the endings about like getting close to characters, and kind of like getting a quote unquote good ending, I guess. Um, and then the other set of endings, the ones we have not seen yet, are the Akio ending and the Anthi ending. And those are kind of in the same category as the Black Rose
Mm.
ending, where they are like a little bit, you don't resolve things as much. You become a duelist in both of them. Spoilers, I guess, but they were classified as like duelist endings as
Mm.
opposed to character endings. They're pretty interesting. They're very weird. And yeah, so we'll talk about it. On a previous stream, I had mentioned not being able to get the Miki ending. I'll talk about that when that happens. I did get
Mm.
the actual Miki ending. And I'll talk about it more when we get there. But it turns out that relying on guides to do a thing, maybe the guides don't have complete information, and you could be misled. Um, which, yeah, I'll talk about it more. I guess when we get there, but I will just say up front, a thing I learned is that, so there are two guides. There's a game facts guide, and there is a a text guide that was hosted on like uh, Mediafire or some like download site.
Oh, yeah.
It's from like archived from like the otori.new forums or something. If you search like Utena Saturn guide, whatever, you should be able to find it. Those both list requirements for all the endings. The requirements they list for the character endings are the game facts guide says you have to have the character you want at 120% and Utena at 60%, which is not true. The other guide says that you have to have the character at 100% and Utena over 0%, which is mostly true, except that there's also a requirement for every ending, which is you have to see a special event scene with that character. Neither guide mentions this. If the text guide just has like a full walkthrough, so if you just follow each step of that step by step, you will see the endings, but it does not actually mention that seeing the character's event is required. Like on our first playthrough, when we failed the jury ending, the numbers that we had for both Utena and jury were high enough. Because on the Toga route that I did, I had Utena at 18% Hearts Nobility and it worked, and we had Utena at 18%, but it didn't work. Like, we died in the duels, even though jury's number was also high enough. And that is because we did not see jury's event. So that is a requirement that neither guide mentions. If you, like me, were like, okay, all I have to do is get Miki to these numbers, I'm just going to pilot it based on getting enough numbers for Miki and Utena, you would never succeed, no matter how good you did, unless you find Miki's special event. So I'll talk more about that. I just wanted to flag that up front because, you know, I think there's like some maybe I just want the information out there for people playing this game to be
correct the record.
Correct, yes. You know, there's a lot of interesting stuff about paratextuality and the archive, but I'm not going to get into the Derrida of it here because who cares? I care, but who else
I
cares?
do.
Okay, well.
I just got a degree in information studies in like libraries and archives, so.
True.
But I don't know if anyone else does.
Yeah, archive fever, baby.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Anyway, that's not what you're here for, probably. If you are, I don't know, shoot me a DM on some social media and we can talk about it. But that's my kind of lengthy preamble. Christine, if you're ready to get into it, we can get into it.
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. Let's go. So we're going to start with the perfect ending here, which is what the game calls it. Like, you get little achievement badges after you do each route. This is the perfect ending. Actually, I will give a quick preamble about the perfect ending. So it's the actual ending of it is exactly the same as the generic ending that like I got on my failed Miki playthroughs, where if you have high enough numbers so that your people don't die in the duels, but you haven't fulfilled the conditions, like you see a generic ending, which we will see. The perfect ending has that, but it also this is the one where you save every student council member. No one becomes a puppet of Chigusa, and also your Utena score is high. So the ending is exactly the same as the generic ending, but you get some fun little lead up on the last day where all the student council members are hanging out, which we like never see. So I just included that.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll see, like, this is like some stuff on the last day. This is the beginning of the last day. You know, usually when you see like Chigusa is like walking and like taking Toga or whoever to steal their souls. Instead, you just hang out with all of them. So that's where we are. This is the morning of the final day. Yeah, I can't think of like any time in the whole anime where all the student council members plus Utena and Anthi hang out.
Yeah, I don't think that ever happens.
So it's pretty cute. Here's Toga.
This is fun.
Yep. Very good. Yes, this is just I mentioned, but this is just a video I recorded, so if the text goes too fast at any points, apologies. I maybe like hit the button too fast a couple times.
You were in speedrun mode.
Yeah, I played through this game 12 times, so I was, you know, it was a little bit of a marathon.
True gamer.
Yeah. Because my failed runs and everything. Yeah, you know, they're just kind of like hanging out, having a nice time. Jury's being a cop here. I know there was jury-cop discourse in the fandom recently.
This is another strike against Jury in the cop column.
It's coming up and being like, you're disturbing, you're blocking the path for people. Like, get to class. Miki's a dork. He's coming to class with us.
I was gonna say we better not see Jury trying to do that because I would not. Oh, okay, like.
Oh no, she's a corrupt cop. She's.
Oh, good.
she's fine with being late. She's just making everybody else go to class. Yeah, I like this moment. This is really cute. Where, like, are Toga, Sayonji, and Jury gonna hang out as friends ever? No,
Yeah.
but it's really cute to see them just
Through
be
the
like,
power of Ruluka, they are.
They've become friends. They're all happy and hanging out. Okay, so we're skipping to where we are tied up in the basement. So you know, in this ending, you just go alone to the thing.
Interesting.
Chigusa knocks you out, ties you up in the basement. But there's no puppets because we saved them all. None of them lost their nobility, so here we are. Got the banging music.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Luca.
Yeah, she's had a rough week.
So yeah, Utena's still dueling Chigusa, and we're still trapped in the basement, but...
There's no Jury with her knife to...
Oh my god, I'll talk about, like, everyone's solutions there. It's pretty funny. Thanks, Miki. I thought she was saying this to us at first, but she's saying it to Miki.
Yeah, Miki.
I got confused.
I love Jury, like, fading in.
Yeah. Like a spirit.
Yeah. Alright, this is not the time, you guys.
Yeah. Miki's like, age gap jokes, not funny. That's problematic. I know what show I'm in. Ready for yeah, they're just talking through the whole thing, and then jump scare.
No, there's a way.
Toga fading in with S expression on his face is so much more ominous than Jury. He looks so mad. Yeah, this is all just information, like, either, you know, you figure it out on your own, or you figure it out with the person that goes with you, so this is, you know, the dialogue here isn't especially interesting, but again, this is kind of cute to see the student council all teaming up, brought together by the power of Ruluka. Yeah, the Yorishiro thing is still interesting to me because it's just like a different kind of like for one, it's like from a, you know, more of a Japanese spiritual tradition, I guess, as, like with the ghosts and everything, or maybe spiritual tradition is not the right thing, but it's a different sort of milieu than Utena usually works in. That's still pretty. That's still like an interesting concept. I don't know exactly what to do with.
Yeah, like as you said, it's just a completely different conception of like
Yeah.
ghosts
Yeah.
that we have in the show.
Yeah.
Whereas like Mikasa is not a ghost in that sense.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He's a ghost in the sense of like
Yeah.
holding on to the past, which is also oh my sorry.
I like this. His like blushing face is so funny. He looks like such a like weird loser. Blowjob brothers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Jury's like packing up blowjob brothers. Is like I was gonna say.
But yeah. Like the Yorishiro thing is pretty interesting. It's just like a different sort of metaphysics than the show usually has. So, you know, I don't have like a big thesis about it or whatever, other than just again flagging it as being like a kind of weird thing, a weird choice to make. Yeah, we have the charm with the red string, and this is all just normal shit.
Yeah.
So nothing too exciting here.
Just we have the whole like fucking Scooby Gang there.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's just cute to like. Scooby Gang's a great way. That is 100% the vibe. That is 100% the vibe.
It's really funny having this all play out and we're not seeing Utena at all.
Yes. You don't get any of the cut-ins to her dueling because of. So we would get the end of the duel here that we've seen before. I skipped it, but you know how it goes. And then we go to this little post-duel scene. So you get this on all of the character endings. This one has all of the characters are here, all the student council members plus Utena and Anthi, and then Rue Lucas looking at them. If you remember from our jury ending, we only had Miki was the only safe person, so it was Utena, Anthi, and Miki and Rue Luca. The other three were gone. Jury wasn't there because she had to like run up and see us at the end, so she wasn't in this scene. But you get this in all the character endings with whatever characters you've saved, other than. Yeah, if you saved Jury or Saionji, they are not there for various reasons, and then you see them after this. And they each have a little spiel they give, so I just recorded this whole thing so you can see what all the characters will say in the generic ending. Again, yeah, the perfect and generic endings are exactly the same from here on out, other than you have all the student council members here in the perfect ending. So I'll just let them all say their little final speeches to us. I think, yeah, you will have seen the Utena. I was speeding through this because we've seen this before.
Yeah.
There's Togo. I probably went too fast through Togo's one too because, again, I just
didn't want to see him.
So apologies for going through this quickly. I think I realized that I should slow down at a certain point in the recording of this, and did so. But yeah, this is. There's Saionji.
Oh, there's that face again.
There's something like weird about there's something off about the way the blush was like applied. You know. So he's flashing back to the first day when he blamed us for the note. Like, see, it's like a little like off center. So it just like they just like put a little oval on his face. It's very silly looking.
Like, we have to humanize this weird man somehow.
Yeah, he's just a little clown man. Very flustered by everything. Here's Jerry. Her speech is very silly. Like, yeah, okay. Thanks, Mom.
Okay, thanks.
She's like talking like a guidance counselor or something.
Yeah.
Again, cop allegations not helping. Here's Miki. I think we've seen all this before.
Yeah, we saw this.
Yeah. He's the oh, maybe we didn't see the part this line. Like the Indians can slightly vary. Like Toga will like mention if you dance together with him on the first day. This one, if you go and see like an event where you play piano with Miki, he'll say that. Here's our Utena goodbye, which we also saw during the jury ending. It's cute. It's nice. You can see that I'm speeding through it because we've seen it already. But yeah, she gives us back the sword. Note the hilt of the sword right now. It's just a normal sword hilt. That's important.
Interesting.
I'll say why it's important shortly. Okay, so we say our goodbyes. Here, there would be the credits and then the post-credit scene of the Black Rose stuff. I edited out that because, you know, we've seen the credits. We've seen Akio say, like, "Aw, beans, my thing didn't work." And we've seen Mikage be like, "All right, here I come." And then we go to Ruluka's new school.
Huh.
She wants to join the fencing club. Okay, so check out the saber. Check out the hilt of the saber. What do you see on there?
I can't even tell, like lines.
It's red string.
Oh, it's red? It looks brown.
It does look brown or like black, but like I don't know what else it could possibly be
Yeah,
other
it
than
has
like
to
the
be.
Yorishiro red string.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
So we are gonna become a ghost potentially in the future. If Ruluka dies, like she has this like object that would tether her soul to the world.
Okay, Ruluka rocks out.
She mentions being a beginner. She says, "I want to catch up with someone." I think this is just like supposed to mean like the person that you were the closest to. Like on the Miki ending, I had like Miki 150% nobility or whatever. So I assumed that it's like, oh, like Miki is the most important person to me, even though we didn't bond. I want to catch up to him and become a good duelist. So I think maybe it just like says it's vague because of that. Part of me also just wants it to be Chigusa.
I know, that was my thought.
It might be. It honestly, I like the vagueness of it and like.
Yeah, Ruluka got Chigusa pilled.
Yeah, she's tied to Chigusa. She's tied herself with red string to Chigusa. This is why it makes me think it's like one of the normal characters, because how would you go back and show Chigusa anything? She's been eradicated from the world. But it's interesting, like, yeah, that makes it a little more interesting having that Yorishiro of our own. So that's that ending. Like I mentioned, it's the same as the generic ending. It was a little disappointing to me at first to like notice that. But then I was thinking about it, and like kind of like both the best and worst thing that can happen to you in the cosmology of Utena is that you become a shining thing. So this is just kind of the ending you get, either if you didn't make a true bond with someone, or if you make, you know, decent bonds with everyone, but like no extremely strong bond. Where you're not the most important person in the world to anybody. You're not like, you know, no one has become your prince truly. You're just kind of like a person that everybody liked in the perfect ending, and that doesn't make you a special shining thing because no one's like fixated on you in an unhealthy way. Yeah, which is interesting given how Utena works with all that.
Yeah, and it's like she's like I'm trying to like the implications of like Ruluka just being able to leave Otori.
Yes.
And I mean all these endings, all the good endings is also interesting because it's like
it's wild.
Based on what we know about the people who do leave Otori in the show, it's not like this usually.
No.
And so I don't know if that's like more just for the sake of the game to make it kind of like like more, I say palatable, this game is still very weird, but have a more like approachable game from someone who maybe isn't super familiar with the show.
Yes.
I'm wondering, is it that, or is there something to be said here of Ruluka being able to leave,
Right? But then
kind of very peacefully?
that's the thing about the Yori Shiro that makes me think, like, is
Yeah,
she
that she never
actually
really
out? Like,
left.
she's binding herself back to Otori.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because
like,
she's I mean, with, like so
she
much
wants to
about like
return.
it's she's still clinging to the past,
Yep.
which is the fault of like every single character in the show
Yep.
to a degree.
Yep. Yep.
So that tracks, yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. I mean, also they just have to get her out because this game again technically occurs between episodes 8 and 9, so like
Yeah.
she can't be there at the end cuz she's not in the rest of the show. I don't think this game is like, I think if you asked like, the whatever serious Utena canon keeper, like, is this game I feel like the answer is no.
No, yeah.
But like within the narrative of the game, it does occur within the show, so she has to be gone at the end so that the show can continue. Obviously she's not there. All the character endings do various maneuvers, like we saw with Jury is like, I don't love you, but like here's a locket you can remember me by.
Yeah.
So they all have like a little maneuver. I believe the next one's the Utena ending. So this one will also
Cool.
what we just saw was the longest segment because I recorded the stuff on the final days. I also did that for Utena. I recorded a little bit of the final day because the Utena ending is very funny. They had to solve a gameplay thing, which is, it's possible to get the Utena ending and have all 4 student council members fall. So if that happens, who's going to save you from the basement while Utena's dueling? Because Utena
Ooh.
can't. So the game had to come up with a solution with that. It's an extremely good solution. So I recorded a little bit of the final day. So I'm going to...
Okay, I have a prediction, but I'm gonna see if I'm right. I'm not gonna say
Yeah. You might be right. Where I'm gonna drop us in is on the final day when Nanami comes to bully us and tell us the truth about our parents,
it.
and we get rescued by someone. So I'm gonna drop us in there. It's Utena, obviously, because we're doing the Utena route. So Utena has just saved us from Nanami, is where we will start. All right, here we go.
ありがとう、ウテナ。どうしてここに？君に渡したいものがあったんだ。私に？うん。これ。チュチュ？僕は決闘に行かなくちゃいけないから、代わりに
Yeah,
騎士を。
that's what I thought.
いいかい、チュチュ。
She gives us choo choo.
彼女は僕のとっても大事な人なんだから。ちゃん
Here's
と待ってくれよ。
here's something I want to give you. Hands you a monkey.
私のこと大事な人だって。じゃあ
So
僕は
this
行
is
く
the
よ。
true choo-choo route. You know, we joked about the Black
Yeah.
Rose arc being the choo-choo route, but this is the true choo-choo route.
ウテナ。やっぱりウテナはかっこいいよ。どんな男の
But
子
definitely much cooler than any boy.
Agreed. Okay, so now we're going to the basement. We're trapped in the basement. Waking up. There's a few... I think I lost Miki, Sayonji, and Juri on this playthrough. I think Toga was safe.
そうだ。ちぐささんを止めな誰かチュチュ
Yes.
チュ
This is the most useful choo choo has ever been.
It's amazing.
In the show, he would just be bouncing around like
Yes.
a balloon.
こんなところで
Yes.
グズグズしてる暇は
But
ない
here
わ
he's like, he's so good. It only gets
He's
better from
Scooby-Doo.
here. Yes,
He's
he is
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Fuck, you're right. Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh. No.
I like this. They all walk up and say, kill. They want to kill this Italian monkey so bad. Doesn't work.
Oh, I've seen this screenshot. I've seen this before. I didn't know that was from.
Choo Choo, greatest duelist. Also remember that he knocked out Ruluka in the one thing.
Yeah.
If you try to steal his food, he knocks you out. So that was a oh god, what's the word?
Foreshadowing.
Thank you. I lost that word for a second. The foreshadowing that Choo Choo is actually stronger than any duelist. And can just knock anybody out with one hit.
Kill.
Kill.
I hope he just kicks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's exactly the same for all of them.
Yeah,
They
great.
didn't,
Is one
like,
move.
Yeah, make it new duel screens. But I love how proud he
like-
is.
That's
I did.
so good.
We can see all of the Utena and Shigusa duel because I did record all of it in this playthrough for some reason.
Mickey.
Uh-huh. That one feels mean to me. Like, I know that Miki is like supposed to be like a good duelist, but he's also just a pathetic little boy. Seeing him get kicked in the head by a monkey, it's like, you gotta feel bad for him a little bit. I say that in a good way, you know. To all the Miki fans out there, I'm not saying that in an insulting way. Miki's great. Okay, so then we're cutting to, this is after the kind of goodbye screen. So this is like, you know, the thing we just saw where everybody's standing by some steps and you're being like, oh, I have to leave Otori, bye. And then they all give you a short little thing. So this is after that. I'm not going to show that every time because it's the same. So yeah, this is like in our jury ending. After that, we like went and we were like, oh, jury wasn't here. I have to go find jury. So here we have said goodbye to Utena already, but she's still on our mind.
私だけの王子様、あなたとももうお別れなのね。もっともっと話したいことや行きたいとこや、私ここを離れたくない。ずっとウテナと一緒にいたい。ウテナ。
Here she is.
There's our girl.
When she said this, because of giving us something, I was like, oh my god, what if it's Choo Choo?
I know, that'd be great.
She was like, here's Choo Choo. She gave us something different. Yeah, this one, Riluka doesn't like straight up come out as gay like she does to Jury. But,
Jury has that effect on people.
Yeah, there's still some vibes here, obviously.
Yeah.
But then we're crying. Oh no, this is so sad. And she kisses away our tears.
Tears. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe this one feels is playing out as a little less explicitly gay because Utena, she keeps referring to Utena as the prince.
Yep.
And like she's with Jury, she's referring to her like as another girl.
But look at, hang on, just look at where Riluka's hand is.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I mean, no, I'm saying.
I know
gay.
you are correct, but she's also gay.
Yeah, she's also gay, but that's why again, in terms of the way they're talking about it, it's not as direct because they're able to pretend that Utena's a prince.
Yes. And she's doing the thing of being like, you know,
we'll meet again. Yeah.
Yes.
She's quoting the prince. Yeah.
Yes,
she's
exactly.
getting to play prince. Yeah.
Which is, you know, it's kind of nice. I mean, it's obviously like the whole cycle of becoming a prince and everything is problematized within the show, but seeing Utena like provide that nurturing thing and from a genuine place, you know, it's like nice to see. It made me happy. And then, of course, I mentioned the cycle of things. So, here she is.
Oh, yes! Oh my god. Yeah, it's perfect.
She goes to her new school and wears a boy's uniform. And presumably will become a prince to someone there.
Yeah, she gets to be the main character of this new universe she's going to in the same way that like interacting with the prince allowed Utena to take on this narrative importance in the show. Exactly.
There is an event if you hang out with Utena on the like second day at night, you play basketball with her.
Of course.
So I like to think that there's just a revolutionary girl Riluka show where she's like playing basketball, like getting yelled at for wearing a boy's uniform at just a normal school though.
Yeah.
It's really good to imagine. So yeah, that's the Utena ending. So now we have the remaining character endings, which will be Saionji, Miki, and Toga, I believe is the order I did them in. I'll just give a little preface. These ones I all just started recording from like the very end, like the post-duel, post everybody saying their little goodbyes. But like I mentioned, you have to do events to get there, and so those events all come up. I did not record those events because it would have made this video long. And also I didn't think to, so I would have had to play through the game more times, which I didn't want to do. But basically the setup you need to know here is if you hang out with Saionji on the final night, or the night of the third day, then that is his special event. For everyone except for Miki, hanging out with them on the last night is their event. Miki is different. This is why it was difficult for me to get his ending.
Very difficult.
He's a difficult twink, you know. But Saionji's thing is he is training to beat Chigusa, and he's doing it outside in the rain for some reason. So you go and find him training outside in the rain, and then he collapses, and you bring him to the infirmary, and the doctor's like, yeah, he got sick 'cause he's an idiot who was outside in the rain instead of doing this inside for some reason. Also remember that there's the naked waterfall scene, so this guy's been on one.
Quite wet.
Yeah, he's been soaking all day long. And so he gets sick, passes out. You like spend the night by his side in the infirmary, and then you wake up and he's gone. And then he like shows up, you know, to rescue you from Nanami. And then he fights all the duelists for you. Utena beats Chigusa, the stuff we've seen. So yes, we do our goodbyes, but Saionji isn't there, and it's because he is sick. But yeah, here we go.
西園寺さんはそういえば来てないな
I like that Utena didn't notice that Saionji wasn't there.
She's
Also,
like, oh yeah, that guy. Pneumonia. He's like a big sick Victorian child.
yeah, he has no common sense at all. The Saionji route's pretty funny because he's just like such a weirdo. And like Ryuluki even liking him is still like, what a fucking weirdo.
こんな体なんでもないのそれじゃあ時間だからそろそろ行くね
Please tell me he's gonna like a hobble out of bed.
I wish they had like given him like crutches and like a bandage around his head, even though it's like pneumoniah, so it wouldn't make any sense. That would have
Like a
been
big
really good.
thermometer sticking out of his mouth and like an ice pack on his head.
That would have been pretty
来
good.
てくれなかったな
彼女には指一本触れさせん彼女は僕が守る
Yeah, so he cares about us.
西園寺さんやっぱりもう一度会いたいよ
This is gonna be funny. You'll enjoy what
ちゃんと
happens
さよ
here.
ならをよそうしないと私一生後悔する西園寺さん
Here he is. He looks fine, unfortunately.
転校すると聞いた
見送りに来てくれたんですか
君にはいろいろと世話になった
I like this screen because Ryuluka's back is the same. Okay, so look, this is what he gives us.
Oh no! What the
しまうとしても
Does he just like do this for people?
きっといつかここに戻ってきます
Like at the end of the
Oh.
semester, like he's like wants to give his teacher a gift, so he gives them one of them. You kiss Saionji. He looks shocked.
No!
ありがとうご
Look
ざい
at
ま
his
した
face.
Oh, his face! Oh, that's such a good
He
face.
did not want that
それじ
kiss.
ゃ
He's like, I just gave you my
Oh,
weird little platonic
no.
leaf. Why are you
That's
doing this?
horrific.
And then we go here.
ねえね
You will note that this is very similar. All of the dialogue is exactly the same here as the jury ending. They didn't record any different voice lines.
でも内緒
Just here, she shows the locket,
It's, yeah.
but
やっぱりいるんだ
there they show Saionji's little leaf. It's so funny.
もう調子なのって
All right, so that's our Saionji ending.
Wow, it was worth it for that face.
Yeah, his face where he's just like, oh, gross, like, oh, she kissed me, gross. What? I'm so sick. Also, it's really good. Do you have any other thoughts about Saionji?
No,
Nope.
I don't think I do.
It's just it's a funny one. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more to it. He's a funny guy. Okay, up next we have Miki. So, Miki, I mentioned the special event you need to get his ending is different than everybody else's. Everybody else you just pick to hang out with them on the final night. Very easy, makes sense. Miki, you have to, in the time where Chigusa puts a thumbtack in your thing and you eat the thumbtack, and then you have the cake, but you can't eat the cake yourself. So you have to give it to Miki, and then you have to pick a specific option. I did not pick the option because I was following the game facts guide, which just lists how many points every interaction gives you. The option that gives you more points with Miki is not the one you want to take to get his ending. Because it leads you to a special event where you get 10 points with him, which is a ridiculous amount of points. The most points you get at any other point in the game is Jury's Final Night gives you 5 points, and then there's a few things that gives you 3. But Miki's special event gives you 10 points of Heart's Nobility with him, which is ridiculous.
Crazy.
I think I finished this playthrough with like 260% Miki nobility or something. The event is funny. It's just Miki is like being, kind of awkward, and he's like, I don't know how to go on dates with girls, so you're like, oh, I'll be your big sister and teach you how to do it. We'll go on I'll show you how to go on a date. So you take him on a date. You like go get food. He's like so bad at it. Like it's like you get food and she's like, what do you do here? And he's like a complete awkward dork. You go to the movies and he like doesn't know what to do. You go to a park and she's like, oh, like you like her, so like what should you do to like make sure that the night or the date keeps going well? And he's like, I don't know, just see what she does, I guess, or something. And she's like, no, you have to like just put your arm around her or whatever. And he's like so embarrassed. And then you go home and Kozue pushes you down the flight of stairs.
Oh, great. Her MO.
Yeah, it's so good. It's really, really good. The Miki playthrough is really good because Kozue shows up so much in it, and getting pushed downstairs by Kozue is funny. Miki
Such an honor.
Miki knows that she did it too, which is funny, and also says that she's done it before. Which is funny because in the show, the first time we find out about her doing it is like
with the teacher
in episode 15?
Yeah, in Black Rose arc.
Yeah, 14 or 15, I can't remember. But this is between 8 and 9, so she's done it to one other person at least before. So if you count this game as canon, she pushes at least 3 people down the stairs for hanging out with Miki. And the teacher was justified, but Riluka did nothing wrong. So it's really good, and then you get a bunch of points with Miki. You successfully are able to get his ending. It's interesting to me. I won't ramble too long about paratexts, but it is interesting because I think for most English-speaking players, you probably are going to use the guides if you want to get all the endings. So it's interesting that using the guides for me kind of like led me to misread the text. I had a misapprehension of how the game worked, and that prevented me from getting the ending because I was just like, oh, like I just need this many points with Miki. I have this many points with Miki. Why isn't this working? So it's interesting, how paratext. If paratext, I've said a few times, if it's not a word you're familiar with, it's basically like things that like surround a text. So like this game is a text, and then like if there was like advertising material for the game, that would be a paratext. This Let's Play is a paratext to it. It's things that are about or around a text that are not directly part of the text itself, but become part of the cultural sphere that informs the text. Which sounds very lofty, but it's just like a way of saying like, I don't know. For a more common example, if you like watch a ad for, I don't know, you're like you see an ad for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's a big game that everybody likes right now. And you say, that ad looks really cool. I'm going to go buy that game because of the ad. That ad is a paratext that informed your opinion about the game and gave you expectations and so on. Sorry for the digression. I just realized I'd said this word a few times, and I have I'm not a formal academic, but I have some background in academia, so I just wanted to define a term I've been using. Anyway, let's go on. See this Miki ending. Okay, so here we go. We've said goodbye to everybody, and we're saying goodbye to Miki. So it starts out the same way, but then it becomes a different speech. Yeah, here we go. It becomes different.
I'm sure when you got to this, you were like, yo, finally.
I'm so happy. So we confess our love to Miki. Which we also did to Juri, but not to Saionji, I guess.
Yeah, the tracks.
Utena's watching all this happen.
What's up with you guys? Also a good face for Miki here.
Yeah, he's embarrassed. I like tell Kozue I said goodbye is really funny given
the circumstances.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't cut this part out, but then yeah. Here we're at our post thing where we'll get more Miki. So yeah, he explicitly is calling us his shining thing. Which is why I said that earlier, like, all the character names are about becoming someone's shining thing in some way. And being, like, bound to them, which is interesting. But she's having second thoughts. Like, sometimes you're in a weird basement. I'm trying to remember, I think there's, like, no explanation for how you get untied in the basement with Miki. I think it just kind of happens. Like, you're tied up, and then all of a sudden one of the people comes, and then he's just not tied up anymore. So. So yeah, she's listing all the reasons why it's better if they weren't in love with each other, despite feeling that maybe they are in love with each other. And then Miki shows up. I think they all say this exact line, maybe. Maybe I'm blanking, but I feel like Saionji... Or no, you say that about them, but Miki also says it about you.
Interesting.
Yeah, like whoever you want to see, it's Utena or Saionji or whoever, it's like, oh, if I didn't see them, I feel that I'll regret it for the rest of my life. But Miki also says it about you. And he's gonna confess to you. And she's lying to him.
Aw, interesting.
Because she doesn't want him to give up on Anthi, and she doesn't want him to, like, fall in love with someone who's leaving him.
Aww.
He's so sad. This fucking...
He's like, another L.
This ending's kind of nice, because, like, you're probably not, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of got caught up in you. So it's, like, actually kind of, like, sweet that she's doing, and very mature that she's doing this.
Okay,
So she's saying that because, like, when she goes to help you on the date, she's like, don't worry, like, you've never had a big sister before, you just have a twin sister, so I'll be your big sister and show you how to do this. You know, that's just a thing. If you read a lot of Yuri manga, they call each other One-chan all the time, and it's just a thing.
それが安心なのかどうか私にはわからないけど好きだよミキ君だから
So she also kisses him.
そう
He looks less upset than Saionji.
私のアドバイスを守っていい男になるんだぞ
A little taken aback, but not miserable. Then she says goodbye to Miki. But yeah, I think it's,
ご
it's
めんねミキ君
she's a little selfish there, like she says, but it's like pretty like mature, to
Yeah,
be,
as
like,
far as people in this universe go.
It's like a healthy way to like move on and like try to not get caught in the past, try to like let both people involved move on. So that's good for her.
やっぱり私は彼氏にする
Then
な
we
ら
get
年上じゃなきゃ
this
嫌
post credits.
10歳くらい上の大人の人じゃなきゃ
Oh,
Oh, buddy.
how did we get here?
同級生と恋愛
These are our classmates saying it. This isn't Riluka. I need to.
Yeah,
Spin
but
her,
like,
but-
how did like?
Yep.
年上じゃおじさんじゃない
It's so rough out
同
here.
い年の男って子供っぽいんだもん
I pray that they are okay.
Yeah.
私は年下がいいかな
Hate this. Like, I know that Miki's a year younger, so it's not like.
Yeah.
But like, that's just like such a creepy final line.
In her face.
So if you ever want to cancel Riluka, you can just take that
We've
screenshot
got the tapes.
out of context, yeah, and obliterate her ass. So yeah, any thoughts about Miki and Dean?
No, I mean, it was about what I expected.
Yeah.
I didn't expect. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for Mickey because he's so young and so naive. It wouldn't make sense for it to go. I think that makes sense to me. Him having this like very clearly clinging to the shining thing, and that's not like a path forward in any way.
Absolutely, yes. All right, so our final character ending is the Toga one. So the Toga route. Okay, so you are hanging out with Toga a bunch. Things really get weird on the final day. You hang out with him at the classical cafe, and you're like, you know what? I bet Toga's a playboy. So I will quiz him to like, prove that he doesn't know shit. So you're like, Toga, you don't know anything about me. Like, when's my birthday? And then he like knows that. Like, what's my favorite food? He like, and he just starts listing off all this information about you. Which is like more than you as a player would know. Like, he's like, oh, like your favorite food is Mont Blanc, which has like never come up before. Like, your favorite subject is literature, which is funny because of the Black Rose ending where she's like, I love books, and that's never come up before, but Toga does mention it. So it's like kind of creepy, and she's like, wow, I guess he does actually care about me. And then he's like, come visit me at night if you want. I'll leave my door unlocked. So
I don't like that.
you go and do that because that's the event you have to do to unlock the ending, and you have sex with Toga. Like, it's not ambiguous. Like, he's in bed and like she's like, I don't remember the exact dialogue, but she's clearly horny for him, and he like has his shirt off and he's like, come join me, and then it cuts to the following morning and you're in his bed naked.
Oh God.
And he's not there. So you head home. Utena's like, where were you all night? And you're like, don't worry. And Anthi's like, sometimes girls need to keep their secrets, which is rough. And then Toga comes and saves you later, and I feel like I don't remember, but he like says some shit like, oh, I was just out of bed because I was going to get you breakfast, or something like that. So then, he saves you. He's like, I'm your knight. I'm your true knight. The way you escape from the ropes is pretty funny, at least, because you're both tied up, and he's like, how strong are your teeth? Bite through the ropes on my hands. And you do it. The Saionji one I didn't say. Saionji's just very strong, and he just rips the ropes apart. He just like flexes and breaks them. But yeah, Toga's like, eat the ropes for me, and Riluka's like, okay, I'll do that, and she does it. Then he fights all his duels. You say your goodbyes. And then this happens, but yes, just remember that Toga had sex with you. This ending I have thought about the most out of any of the endings.
Oh.
I'll talk about it when it's over, because I don't want to give away what happens, but I have a lot of feelings about it. All right, here we go.
な
これ私の引っ越し先の住所で会いに来てとは言いません。でも手紙を
So it starts off differently already because you're getting this like more special you got to a special screen here.
本当ですか？
But it's not after you've left. This is when you're just like saying your goodbyes to everyone. It's like
Okay.
Utena's standing nearby overhearing all this. I can trust
This
what you
tracks
say,
with
right?
Toga.
Yep.
It tracks with Toga being so performative.
Yep.
もちろんさほら泣くのはおやし
Um,
それとも俺のことを
and
信じられ
you
ない
don't do the thing afterwards
いえ
where you're like, oh, I have to see him or I'll regret it forever because you are having this tearful emotional goodbye with him already.
そ
So
してあなたが私を迎えに来てくれる日を。
あ
without
あ必ず行くよ
Without
Haha.
fail.
So then we have this like normal, and then we cut to after credits, but we're not gonna go regret not meeting Toga for the rest of the life. Instead, this pops up.
What?
And like me, you might be a little confused why there's like this fire, like you can hear the fire sounds. Like what's happening? Where are we? Are we in the basement and the coffin's being incinerated? That's where we've seen this before. Nope.
バカな女だ
Oh.
Toga's burning our address in the incinerator.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Poor Luca.
He didn't even like throw it. He also burned the exchange diary, right? Like
Yeah.
Senji and Anthi's one. So I guess that's really the first place we saw that incinerator. But yeah, he just burns our address like immediately.
どうして手紙をくれないのトーガさん。私ずっと待っているのに。これからも
He's
ず
a
っと
playboy.
待っていなくちゃいけないの。
Yeah.
あなたのこと
And he fucking got her.
どうしてなのトーガさん。
It's very sad.
I love that the Toga ending is a
Yup.
bad ending.
It's like arguably, I mean, other than like
One of-
dying, it's the
yeah.
worst ending in the game, I would say.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that rocks.
it's very good. I also had a lot of feelings about it because I think so I'll talk a little bit about genre again. Like we talked about what is the genre of this game. Is this a dating sim? Is this a visual novel? And I think this ending was the thing that cemented it for me where I'm like, there's no way I can say this is a dating sim. Like for one thing, it's not about dating any of the characters. Like you go on a date with Miki in his event, but otherwise you don't date anyone. You become close to them, but then like it's about leaving them at the end. So none of these are like the dating sim where you get close to somebody, go on dates with them, and then have an ending together. Like you end up leaving whoever it is. And only Miki is the only one who reciprocates your feelings. Even so it's not even like there's a mutual love in most of the endings, but this Toga one I was like, okay, no, this is definitively not a dating sim to me because of that, but it's playing with the expectations of dating sims because and this is why this one stuck with me and upset me, is because Toga fucking got me too. I got tricked by thinking like this is a dating sim, so like the whole last I don't like Toga. First of all, I should say. I mean, he's an interesting character. I have sympathy for him, especially with what's going on with Akio. But he's not a guy I would want to be friends with. So I was primed to distrust him. However, you have the time where you sleep with him, and then Ruluka's like so much like, I trust him, and he's like saying all these things, and I'm like, well, he's a playboy, but this is a game. This is a video game, and the outcome of the video game is you get a happy ending with the character that you like. So I guess he means it this time. Like, it's still slimy, but, like, he has some feelings for me. Meaning Ruluka, not me, Audrey. um, but like, so, you know, in a lot of these playthroughs, like, I'm not immersed in the character of Ruluka. I'm not thinking like I am Ruluka and I am experiencing the same feelings as Ruluka. We are not in like alignment for our desires. And the jury playthrough was probably the one where it was like, I also am very interested in Jury as a character. Like, I'm not romantically invested in Jury, but like, you know, there's a similar affective experience of being like, oh man, like, you know, when we played it and we were both like, oh, I hope we get this ending. Like, oh yes, we got it. It's so exciting to see more about Jury, which is like aligned with the feelings that the character would be having. Ruluka would also be hoping that Jury, like, you know, was someone she got closer to and learned more about. But in this, I ended up having that alignment with her again because both of us kind of got suckered in, her by like the narrative of Toga being like this knight for her or prince for her, and me by expecting it to be a video game where you get a happy ending. And Toga subverted that for both of us. Toga tricked us both. So I also felt like betrayed and upset at the ending here. Yeah, I got Togud. And it's like, you see it happen in the show so many times to people, or at least it's like mentioned happening a lot. But to inhabit the consciousness of a character who goes through it and then to also feel betrayed in that way, it's like, damn. So it stuck with me a bit. Yeah, I got Togud. It sucks. Feels bad. I wasn't in love with him, but I just was like, oh, okay, like, we're going to get a happy ending. I guess I can trust you. I don't know why I thought that, but yeah, there you go.
Damn, that was cool. I did not expect that. I totally, because it's like, yeah, you're expecting a certain outcome, but it like really, that would have been changing Toga's character.
Yes.
For the sake of the narrative, for the sake of the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, you almost feel stupid after.
When you
it's like
fulfill someone's heart's...
That would be out of character.
Right. When you fulfill someone's heart's nobility, you are getting to know their character. You are like validating their character and like allowing them to show you their true self. So in the ending where Toga is the guy you have all the heart's nobility with, yes, he shows you his true heart. Which I shouldn't have been surprised by, but yeah, it's cool. All right, so that was all of the character endings. We've actually gone a little bit longer than we thought we would already. Oops. But we'll go on both of the final endings. So just the Akio ending and the Anti ending. They're both pretty short. We'll start with the Akio ending here.
Get it out of the way.
It's pretty funny. So this one, you have to have no points with Utena. You have to have like a medium amount of points with all the student council members. And then the last day, like you get to be like, oh, who do I consult with? I don't know what to do. And so I picked Toga, and then you get a special different dialogue option with him. So we'll see where things go from there.
Yeah, どうしたの? 血相を変えて。そんな思い詰めた顔してちゃ可愛い。
I trusted this guy.
I know.
Sucks. Feels awful.
どうしたんだい?
The Toga route would have been a really fun, interesting route for us to play through together, because that would have been very funny to see unfold.
Yeah, I would have thrown up on stream in the part where you have sex with him.
It's probably for the best. I'm glad I don't have to see that.
Yeah. Okay, so... yeah, he always says all of this, and then you get a dialogue choice pretty soon. And you can pick the third option that you get to pick is special to the Akio route. I didn't cut that out. It cuts out like that. They just didn't finish the sound effect. Yeah, she wants to control her own destiny. It's pretty cool, I guess. Good for her. We know she's bad at dueling because
Yes.
君になら
of the Black Rose arc, and then also the or the Black Rose ending,
何をです
and then also the generic ending. She says, "I've never fenced before, but I want to." Yeah, just and it just like cuts off. It's really good.
君の魂が本当に諦めていなければ世界の果てを駆け巡るこの音が聞こえるはずだ
音別に何も
So here we go.
Just the editing on this is quite funny.
The pause, right? And then the cut. The match cut is so good.
And then the cars just fading in.
So here we are.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Hey, Lost Highway.
Just pauses.
Yeah.
This conversation is so funny. I accidentally hit too fast there, but it doesn't actually matter what you pick on these dialogue options, which you will see.
両親がそう言ったからです
He just, yeah. He just says what he was gonna say. Oh, this rocks.
It's so funny. I picked more like a mountain because I was like, that sounds funny. I don't know what that means either, but it sounds funny. I should have picked Where Are You Listening to Me, but again, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
というより山でしょうか
They really caught on him.
They got him so good. The
This
writers.
is great for you specifically, because that's a big complaint you have about Akio is
Yes.
that he just says nonsense.
Yes. And Ichiro, Kochi, and whoever else on the writing team was like, yeah, that dude does just say nonsense. Let's have Ruluka just be completely confused.
なんだか話が見えないんですけど
So funny. This part is like a little... I don't know what's meant to be happening here. Like, because he just gets up on the hood of the car, which is what he usually does. But the fade to black is a little, you know, with
Yeah, it's
Akio,
suggestive.
always a little scary. So then you saw the end of the world. And then...
I love that text. That text is so funny.
Yes.
In case it's not clear.
Yes.
なんだ
So we get the same dialogue here between you
Yeah.
as the Black
with the
Rose
car.
ending. Yeah.
期待外れでしたね
Different image, but same dialogue. Okay, so that was the Akio
Great.
ending.
That's
Or I
really
guess-
funny. Oh,
Yeah, he's still here a little bit. But
yeah.
barf.
That's like what he says about every duel in the third arc.
Yep.
分かっていて呼んだんで
And
しょ
Koga's
Terrible
here.
person.
悪い人だあなたは
Yep. I don't know that I would describe that sound as a chuckle.
Yeah.
This is a weird sound. Okay, so
Wow.
here we are in our last ending. This is the Anthe ending. So, you know how we mentioned, like, we were like, oh, we're going to go for the joke percentage route?
Yeah.
That's the Anthe route.
Great.
You
great.
have to tell every joke on the Anthe route. The way you get it is by, according to the GameFAQs guide, you have to do all the other endings first. The other downloadable guide does not mention that. It just says you have to act in a silly mode way, basically, and make specific dialogue choices. And you get secret Anthe points. So you have to make all the jokes. You have to eat her lunch. And then there's when Jury comes to dinner and is like, oh, why would someone have broken into your room? You have to be like, maybe they wanted my body. And Anthe makes a joke. I don't remember what her joke is, but she finds that funny and makes a little joke. So you have to have the most jokes happen and silly mode things happen with Anthe. And then when this is the last day, so you're like, oh, who do I want to consult with before this duel happens? And you get Anthe as a new option.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to pick Anthe, of course, and then we'll see what happens. Oh god, there's a lot happens in this one.
ねえウテナ、アンシーは？あれ、いないよ。さっきまでいたと思ったのに。そう。じゃあバラ園の方を探してみるわ。
Yeah, so we're gonna go meet Auntie. Here she is.
ああ、アンシー。
This
ここにいたんだ。
conversation is pretty interesting.
はい。どうかなさったんですか？うん。それがね。どうしよう。なんで切り出せばいいんだろう。何？ねえ、アンシー。あなたはどうしてバラの花嫁なんかやってるの？おきてですから。
I like this
アンシ
music
ー
so
は
much.
それでいいの？
Mhm.
もっと普通の女の子みたいに友達とおしゃべりしたり、美味しいもの食べたり、恋をしたりしたくないの？
This is what Utena says to her a lot in the first
Yeah,
arc.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
決闘の商品なんかにさせられて、アンシー
So
は嫌じゃ
we
ないの？
are being like Utena. Interesting.
そんなのおかしいよ。ねえ、バラの花嫁なんてやめちゃおうよ。そして普通の女の子らしくもっと。どうしてって。私がかわいそうだからですか？それとも決闘が行われてほしくないからですか？
This is like this is really interesting to me because yeah, like she's being so direct with us.
This is more direct than she would be in the first arc.
Then yeah, exactly.
それとも私自身？あなたは私がバラの花嫁が欲しいのですか？そうすれば世界を革命する力が手に入ります。それさえあればあなたは消えなくて済む。そう考えているん
Because
じゃありませんか？
Auntie, particularly in the first arc, kind of it's so much of people like leading themselves to the conclusion of possessing her.
Yep.
But she's really leading. Ruluka wasn't even thinking that.
お選び
And
な
it's
さい。
especially interesting because like Utena says all these exact same things to her, but she doesn't respond this way to Utena.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which is it's really interesting. I mean, some of it is obviously we're playing a video game and we have to get this ending. But also it's like like is it because we are not currently engaged to her so she can be like a little more direct with us, or is it because we're not part of Akio's plans or whatever? So she doesn't have to like hide anything from us. It's all pretty interesting. We get a choice here. You still get the same ending either way.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you can guess which one I pick.
私はあなたがバラの花嫁が欲しい。姫宮アンシーを
So if you thought
私のもの
that
にしたい。
Ruluka was beating the gay allegations before,
では
oh boy.
バラの花嫁を手に入れる方法はただ一つ。それは決闘に勝利することです。決闘に勝つ。ウテナに
So
勝
we
つ。
get a rose seal
そして
so that
バ
we
ラ
can
の
become
花
a
嫁を手
duelist.
に入れる。この私が。
We've been a pretty bad duelist in our other duelist endings, so you might think that this is gonna go badly. Look how cool she looks, though.
That's cool, yeah.
私が相手よ。天女ウテナ。
So it's going differently. We don't just see the aftermath where she's already been beaten.
これは正式な決闘です。ウテナ様、剣を。仕方ない。姫宮。気高き城のバラよ。
We get our, very familiar opening to the duel ritual. Like,
今こそ示す。
where all the signs are pointing to this being a real duel. I don't know what happened with Chigusa in this ending.
Yeah, she's just like she's just waiting in the basement.
Yeah, like when's she gonna come so I can tie her up and fight Utena? Never happens.
Love the bells.
However, she didn't get the sword of Dios. This is what Auntie gave her.
天女ウテナ。どういうこと？さあ、ウテナ様、これを。
So I guess this was also inside of Anthi, and you can pull it out of Anthi if she
Hell
wants
yeah.
you to, instead of the Sword of Dios. I mean, Utena
Should have given that to Sayonji.
Utena gets washed.
バラの花嫁は
Yes.
私がいただいたわよ店長ウテナごきげんよう店長さん
Andrew-san, she got the Sayonji treatment.
未練がましいわ姫宮アンシーはもう私の花嫁私のた
Oh,
めだ
this
けに
seems like a good ending.
She rips her Nojo-san the laugh. Okay, I'm gonna pause here. Oh god. So I DM'd you a few days ago and said I may have to edit this video because I'm worried about violating the YouTube sexual content policy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And the video that I'm currently showing you is called Utena Commentary Censored.mp4. I edited a censor bar in. I feel like it would have been fine, but also I just want to be careful because I don't want to
Yeah.
lose. The policy is that if you have sex scenes in video games are prohibited. This is a visual novel, so it's obviously not fully animated, but what follows is a sex scene. Yeah, there's no other way to describe it. Obviously, it's mostly communicated through audio, but I want to say that ahead of time. If you're under 18, I feel like
You want to tap out.
I have to say, as a responsible content creator, maybe tap out here. I also want to, I'm not showing this for erotic purposes. I'm showing this because it's a video game that has interest to a specific community around an artistic work. I did put a little edit bar in. But yeah, it's funny because Gundam Witch from Mercury just ended, which Ichiro Okochi also wrote, and people were like, I guess, maybe I shouldn't say this. People had some doubts, at least leading up to throughout that entire show, that Okochi as a writer would show women being intimate with each other. 25 years ago, he did not have any qualms about
Any
doing
problems.
that. So,
Let's go. I'm so scared.
oh, Riluka's such a fucking sex pervert. You'll see.
私はバラの花嫁
I'm so.
すべてはあなたの
No,
思うが
no,
まま
no,
です
no.
何なりとお申し付けください私は決闘の勝者なんだもん当然の権利よね
Ew, man. She's such a fucking slime bag, man.
まあいろいろとお楽しみはあるけどとりあえず背中を流してもらおうかな
Okay, here we go.
Ah!
どうですか
You don't like see like nipples or anything, but I don't know. I'm just trying to be careful
that's
here.
safe. Really safe and sorry.
この辺ですか
Oh no.
そっか気持ちいい
Oh.
はい終わりです次はいかがいたしましょうか
Oh boy.
次は私が洗うわ
Mm.
そこに座って
Don't do
ありがとう
this.
ございますご主人様
I'm just gonna say to anyone watching that don't do this unless I mean if you've negotiated consent in this scene and everything with people, then but don't do this. Otherwise.
I'm
前はバラの
speechless.
花嫁でしょ
I thought Kozue and Chigusa's
Are you
sex
gonna-
scene was enough.
Talk back to your fiance like
お
that?
許しくださいダメだダメだうりゃうりゃうりゃ
So obviously we don't see what's actually happening, but
It's very clear.
yep. They go take a bath together and then Riluka feels Anthi up in a
It's not
sexual
done.
way. No, it's not done. Utena's back. Utena doesn't know what happened, but knows that the vibes are off. She can't let this stand.
3本勝負だいいなダメだ
Yep.
一晩中安心感させたから
Playing with Anthi up all night, didn't get any sleep.
Oh no. Okay,
and
good.
Auntie does the same thing to us, I guess. She gives us the little
Yeah.
hammer instead of an actual sword.
さ
Son.
God, why does Auntie do this?
I don't. It's complete. Oh wait, there's one. I'm gonna pause. Do you have any thoughts about that Auntie ending?
I
before you-
just absolutely
Uh-huh.
bamboozled. I
Yep.
do not know
Yep.
what to make of that.
Yep, I don't know what to make of it either. Like, what is happening? I mean, it's obviously like a humorous ending in some regards, like with the little dual prank and everything. But yeah, what is going on? Why does Auntie do any of that? I have no answers. I was speechless when it happened to me. I hope my channel doesn't get deleted. I think it's fine, but you know.
I think it's fine. No, people have posted this ending before.
Yeah. Anyway, the edit bar makes it look funny. I think so. So after you get every ending, this showed up that was the last route I did. So I saw this upcoming thing after I did that, but also if you go back and get any ending, like I went back and like replayed a couple endings to capture them on recording, and you see this image after every ending after you get all the accomplishments for doing all the routes. So here we go.
No.
It just pops up. And then it goes to the ending. Yep.
No, nothing. Like no
Chigusa's
context.
final trick.
Just here's this.
Yep. So I'll take us back to here so we can, finish up here. But yeah, it's wild, especially because I saw it in that ending where Chigusa just vanishes from the plot entirely.
Yeah.
Like with the Black Rose one and the Akio one, it's like, okay, well, Chigusa is a pawn of Akio's, and so you've been taken by another pawn or taken by Akio directly. So yeah, she's not going to get her final thing. But here you just kind of duel Utena, and Chigusa just is forgotten about. So I was like, oh my god, that's where she is. Riluka just died and now we're ghosts together. But I don't think that's the actual implication.
I don't think that's what happened. Oh my god.
There you go.
Wow.
Yep. That was Revolutionary Girl Utena, Story of the Someday
Good
Revolution.
game. Really
Yeah.
good game.
Really good game. One of my all of the there's no like piece of Utena media that I dislike. But I really like this one. It's very good.
Yes.
If you're curious at all, it's worth playing through all the routes yourself, probably. There's a lot of really good content that I didn't capture. But yeah, you've seen all the endings if you've watched it through here, but it's still good. Like I said, I might upload a full ending compilation, but yeah, unless you have any final thoughts, Christine.
I'm speechless after that. I'm just gonna let that speak for itself, I think.
Yeah. I've seen it multiple times because I saw it when I recorded it, and then I saw it multiple times when putting this video together and learning how to edit in a bar in the video program that I use. And I'm still speechless. My mind is still completely blown. But yeah, I guess that's a great place to end our series. So, Christine, would you like to do your plugs?
Yeah, great. Oh god, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the X-Teen Files. You can read my writing on Inside Survivor. Listen to the Bitter Jurors. Listen to on the Bitter Jurors Network. Listen to Stanima. Audrey's episode is coming out soon. We just recorded it. It was super fun. I think that's it for me.
Yeah. Great. So yes, I'm Audrey, of course. You can find me if Twitter still exists. You can find me on there or pretty much any social media at Audrey Otherway. Of course, I'm Girl Jughead on here, on YouTube. You can, if you are watching this the day it comes out, that is the day that I'm starting a tour with Malblum. So if you watch this as soon as it drops and you live in Chicago, you can come to a show that I'm playing that night. Otherwise, there'll be other Eastern U.S. Dates for a week and a half, and then in August there will be some West Coast dates. So if you can check Malblum out, find those. I also play in the band Speedy Ortiz. We've been releasing a lot of singles recently. We have 3 singles out. We have an album coming out in September. I think it's pretty good. You can find those singles anywhere you stream music. You can find music videos for them on YouTube here. And you can check out speedyortiz.com to find a lot of tour dates for the fall. If we are doing a full US tour in the fall, all September through November, so a lot of chances to see Speedy Ortiz.
And we will be reunited.
Yeah, I'll see Christine in person. That's true, on that tour. Hell yeah. What a lovely thing to look forward to.
Yes. We can go to the
Um,
anime tattoo place.
oh my god, yeah, let's get matching
Chigusa. tats.
Chigusa tats. Yes. We'll show the people, the tattoo artist, that final image and be like, we
Yes.
want this. Oh god. But yeah, that's it for my plugs. So again, thank you so much for anyone who's watched this series. Thanks to people who have commented, given us any little hints or whatever. Thanks to the people who made the guides. I know I critiqued your work a little bit, but you still helped me out a lot. And yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time.
I had a great time until that last one.
Yeah, fair. Well, I hope that, we're able to move on with our lives someday.
Someday. Not today, but someday.
Someday. Together, we'll move on from
God.
this. Okay. I think that's all I got. Goodbye.
Alright, cool. Bye.
Bye.